Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakkamalam Shri Guru-vaiṣṇavam sacha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam sacha Om Ajnana-Timirandhasya Jnanandjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guru-vaiṣṇava Guru-vaiṣṇava Guru-ganayarāshīṣa-sambhūṣitam Cinta-cinta samasta-veda-nipunam Shri Rupa-panthanugam Govinda-bhidam ujjalam vartanam bhakti-anvitam sundaram Mande Vishwa-guruncha divya-bhagavad-premno hivij-pradam Devam divyatanum suchandra-vadanam balarka-chelanchitam Chandrananda-puram sadek-varnam vairagya-vidyam buddhim Shri Siddhanta-nidhim subhakti-lasitam saraswata-nambaram Vandetam Shubhadam Madeka-sharanam Nasiswaram Srīdharam Shri Siddhanta Saraswati-ti vidito Gauriya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanureva Prabhat Gagneo Gaura Sankirtanaye Mayavadati Mingilo Daragatan-udhritya Jivaniman Krishna Prema Sudabdigan Sukham Pradata Prabhum Tam Bhaje Namo Gaura Kishoraya Bhaktavadhuta Murtaye Gauranga Padma Bhrangaya Radha Bhavam Nishevine Vande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti Sarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudhanidim Gaura Vrajashita Sheshaira Vaishnavaira Vanda Vigraham Jagannatha Prabhum Vande Premabdhim Riddha Vaishnavam Vancha kalpataru bhayascha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam bhaktarupa sarupakam bhaktavataram bhaktakyam namami bhakta shaktikam Namo Mahāvadānyaye Krishna prema pradayate Krishnāya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaura-tuse Namah Jayatam Surtau Pangauram Mama Mandamatirgati Matsarvasya Padambhujau Radha Madan Mohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadha Śrīmad Ratnagara Singhasanastau Shri Gandhar Śrīla Govinda Devo Preshalivi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasa Rasarambhi Vamshi Vata Tatastita Karshan Venu Shaner Gopi Gopinath Shriyastana Vrindaya Tulsi Devyaya Priyaya Kesavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Sattvatāya Namo Namah Athanatva Mantra Gurun Gurun Bhagavatarthadan Vyasan Jagat Gurun Natva Tato Jayam Mudire Jaya Saparikara Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Pad Padmanam Jastu Jai Saparikara Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Jupad Padmanam Jastu Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Dandavat Pranam to all the Vaishnavas, to all the devotees, servitors, Vaishnavas. Welcome to our Saturday afternoon reading of Śrīmad Bhagavad Gītā. And by the mercy of Srila Bhakti Pawan Janardhan Mahārāj and Srila Bhakti Kusum Ashram Mahārāj and the mercy of all the devotees, we are going to have this every Saturday. So this session is going to have this. Yeah, we're having this session every Saturday. So we will begin where we left off last week, and before that we will have Kirtan led by Lavanya Didi. And so first we'll have the Kirtan, and then we can start with Bhagavad Gītā. We are on chapter 2, so we'll begin from where we left off, verse 15 onwards. So we can start whenever you're ready. कैमरा इस पे कर देना अभी नहीं जब वो बैठेगी
वो क्या What page is it? I think it's 23 is 15, no? Oh, one sec.
वो मम्मी कर देगी बेटा
Oh, I just first.
This is a very
टच मत किया कर
top, guys. Really cool. Huh? Really cool.
Oh. Yeah, super.
उसको स्पॉट किया तूने सेंटर कर दिया होगा
You did. We'll do.
Focus में
So we'll start with. I'm blanking this. Shri Guru Charana Padma we'll do, and then we'll sing one more bhajan after that, but we'll do. What page is it? 74. So we'll do our obeisances to Shri Guru first. So page 74. Vaja Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Bhaja Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Vaja Śrī Advaita Gadadhara Śrīvasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Śrī Advaita Śrīvasadi Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma
Shri Guru
Kevala Bhakti Vaishnav Māhātmya-gīti ki
Jai.
Jai. Srila Narottam Das Ṭhākur ki Jai. So we will do one more. We'll do 121. Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan Pathiyache Nama Hata Jivera Karan.
Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan Pathiyache Nama Hata Jivera Karan.
Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan Pathiyache Nama Hata Jivera
Lavanya Devi Dasi Ki Jai. Thank you for the beautiful kirtan leading us. So we are on chapter 2 of Śrīmad Bhagavad Gītā. We've covered verses till 15. This needs to go over there. This is for.
I'll move in the back. Yeah.
We have our mics.
Okay. Thank you, thank you.
This is for over there. Yeah, just. Could you have it faced over there? The dark side, this side, light side over that. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So we'll chant. These verses are very important because chapter 2, Constitution of the Soul, the conversation between Lord Krishna and Śrī Arjuna is, this is the first time that Lord Krishna is beginning to instruct Śrī Arjuna, and then one of the first things, the first yoga is Sāṅkhya-yoga. So, because the mind likes analysis, it likes, to have different components separate and be able to analyze and be able to grasp. So he's beginning with Sāṅkhya-yoga, which is constitution of the soul. So right into the second chapter, we have left everything that we think is ultimate in this world, in the world of the mind. We live in our minds mostly. And so first chapter is all about the mind. And then right in the beginning of the first chapter, Lord Krishna's, in summary, rejected everything that the mind holds as ephemeral, as puny, as insignificant. So life and death, everything that we think is life and death has been dismissed, in summary, as being nothing. Which tells us at this juncture, if you see, even from the point of analysis, is that our conception of life, our conception of everything is being turned upside down. What we think is right, is the good conception of life, of how to live, of values, of everything associated with existence. It's being turned upside down. Actually, it's being turned right side up. But, for novices like me, it's being turned upside down. And so whatever I had in my mind is being turned upside down, which is the right side up. So I'll just read the verse number 15, which the Lord says, and then we'll chant together 16 onwards. He says here, Na sata vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sata, ubhayorapi drishto antos, ubhayorapi drishto antas, anyo satatta darshivi. So, of the asat, or destructible objects such as the mutable body and associated phenomena, there is no eternal existence. Of the sat, eternal object, or anything, any principle that is eternal, the soul, there is no destruction or change. The nature of each has been realized by the seers of the truth. So the last part is really important because there's a lot of things like people, they go, this is a hypothesis. This is something which is theoretical, abstract. But here he's saying what he has stated of Sat and Asat, true and untrue, or something which is ephemeral versus which has eternal existence. Both the characteristics of both have been studied and realized. So it's not just Gyan, it's also Vigyan. So working knowledge, realization of that. The seers of the truth. So those who know, they know it because they have experienced and seen it. It's not something which is abstract. Not simply, that you just, anyone can make anything of it. It's not like that. And Asat, so Asat means that which is ephemeral, which is ever changing, it's mutable, it's destructible, which is all this, which is this entire world, this entire physical reality that we consider that we're part of. And I'm also in it. That this entire plane of existence is Asat. So therefore the Vedas, if you remember, Vedas, it says Asato ma Sadgamaya. So from Asat, go towards existence, eternality, true existence. Try to realize Asato ma no Sadgamaya. Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya. So from this dark world, which needs the sun to light everything up, we go towards light. And mrityorma amratam gamaya. From the plane of death, destruction, decay, we go towards amrit, nectar. So that is what we are instructed, or that is the proposition. And you will notice all of this information is coming to us not as commandments, that thou shalt not, no. It's up to my discernment, my capacity to understand. And so if I choose, then I will take it. But it's my choice. Always. That's the tone of the entire conversation. Because even toward the end, he says, Yatechasi tatha kuru. As I have told you so many different ways, paths, analysis, dhyan, gyan, bhakti, all of these things I have revealed to you. Now you do as you think best. And that's the key. That's the key difference between all other conceptions and this. All other conceptions and this. This is where it's completely different.
Isn't it required for us to surrender our free will to this higher will? My thought.
It's required only if we choose to.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's our choice.
Yeah, by choice. But then one has to know what is free will. Just like I don't want to follow my mind, but then not knowing what the mind is can land one in huge trouble. And I want to follow the instructions of the spiritual master, not my mind. So what's presupposed is that you know what your mind is. Otherwise, how would you reject what's from your mind? How would you know? How would I know? If I don't know what free will is, if I don't know by internal analysis, by proper studying, Gyan Vigyan, what is free will, then it'll always be faulty or lacking. So we tend to perfection. So we need to perfectly understand this by the grace of our masters. But yes, intent is beautiful. Intent is beautiful. That is the intent. That is supreme. So, na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sata. So that's the difference. Of asat, there is no permanence, and of asat, there is no existence. There is no eternal existence. That is the difference of sat and asat. So he's talking about just the first part, first level, that we begin to exist. We understand that we're eternal. We're the soul. Physicality is a minuscule part of our entire being, entire existence. Physicality is nothing. So because of that, not that I am in this body. So yes, this is there, but that doesn't mean that for me, this bag of bones and everything wonderful that I think is all in all. That's what it means. It means that what you're thinking is all in all is factually insignificant. So we have to try and discover our own personality. Who am I? That quintessential question. Who am I? What am I doing here? So who am I is like the first thing that should, not what my false ego dictates I am, all the wonderful things that flow through my mind and I want to indulge in, or I think, this is good or this is bad. They're all faulty. So this is where it takes us to the point where we need to realize being part and parcel of something which is beyond our mind. So we have willfully chosen to forget that, to be here. And he is gradually reminding us and taking us back to that connection, reviving our original connection. As Krishna says, matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha, which means we want to forget him. Even in that forgetfulness, he will have to help. So even the forgetfulness that we're in, directly, indirectly, he is helping us to forget and live in this entire world that we think is all in all, under misconception. The moment we turn our back to the center, to Krishna, we have to be placed in misconception. Because there is no real existence without him or his connection. But we have completely forgotten that. And so that forgetfulness is also coming from him, his side, his quarters. He's helping us through agencies of Maya. And Maya is completely under his control. Maya dakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. So Maya dakshena. It's entirely under him. Yet he is aloof. He doesn't care. Na datte kasyachit papam na chaiva sukritam vibhu. I have nothing to do with this little world of yours. You can have it. You can run it. The inmates are running the asylum. The inmates are running the asylum. That's the problem. The problem is not that you're an inmate, but that's the problem. the illusion is that, look, we've done, now climate, we must, we've hurt the climate a lot. Okay, so significant dent we have made into the universal, thing, and now it's unsustainable. We may do this, we may do that. But at no point in time will anyone realize, has any leader ever said, listen, we may, do the saber rattling here and there, but we have to, end of the day, we're insignificant. Have you heard any leader, modern leader, actually get up on the podium or in any public forum actually say that? And they're supposed to be leading us, and they don't realize. So, na sata vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sata. Ubhyorapi drashtantastanyo sattattvadarshi. The real seers, they have understood it, they have seen it. They are the real spiritual scientists. Science is not like devoid of theism. It's part of full-fledged theism. This is where actually even science comes from. When we say vidhi, when we say vidhivat or vidhi, what does vidhi mean? Vidhi means process. The closest, if you try to interpret or translate, it'll mean in modern English, it'll mean process. And when we say process, then aren't we alluding to science? How can we have a process if it's unscientific? Predictability of a process. That's what science means. You experiment, there is empirical evidence, you take the evidence, you begin your research, you follow process, and then you note down your conclusions, and then you match them, and then you make progress. So, everything that we see in this shadow world, we can take clues from it. We cannot accept it as is, all in all, but we take clues from it. And then we can get into, try and get our conception of reality right side up. So this world is not to be rejected outright. Like some schools of study, of even Vedic study, they say we'll reject this world. Jagan mithya. This is myth. It isn't. There is some truth to it. Even though it's ephemeral, it's asat, but there is some existence to it. And there is some rhyme and reason to it. So, our thing is to never just outright reject anything. We take everything, we try to take the positive out of everything and how it propels us towards our goal. So that is the way of progress. Progress is not to just reject. That's unscientific, actually, if you really see. Any scientifically oriented person, if they hear even some merit and some hypothesis, they won't reject it. They'll be like, well, I can't understand it right now, I can't grasp it, but let me study it. And those who do reject it outright, at that very instance that they're averse to it. There is some inherent aversion. Otherwise, why would you reject it outright? Oh no, these entire set of people are bad. Or this conception is We reject it, and no basis is given. So, because people fight, people, we need a reason to fight. And so, as it is living in a complete illusion, where you understand illusion is one level, where to take a thing for something else, to understand a thing for something else, that is illusion. And then when there's a lot of illusion from various dimensions, then it becomes delusion. Delusion means to make things up. Not to misconstrue, but to entirely make things up. And the level of the dimensions of illusion that people voluntarily place themselves in, they get deluded. They make up their own worlds. Everyone lives in their own little space, time, universe, and for them that is reality. Everything else is rejected. So, but those who are conversant with this, those who are at least, they've invested some faith in this direction, then they can get some respite. That this world is not all in all. This what I'm thinking, what I'm seeing is not all in all. So that's the only way to begin, otherwise there's no way. We have voluntarily cut ourselves off from the center entirely by our choice, with the help of Krishna. So, and then we ask for his help, his agents that, rescue me. But to get to the point of medicine, one has to know what the problem is, right? Otherwise, if I just land up at a doctor's place or to a pharmacist and say, just give me a medicine, they'll be like, what's wrong with you? Did the doctor prescribe you anything? Oh, no, just give me the medicine. So we need to know what the problem is, and then proceed on to medicine. So we'll chant number 16. Does anyone have any comments, any questions? Please.
How many do we want to chant?
Yeah, we'll chant 16. So
Did we not just go over 16? 15, 16?
no, we'll just do one by one, because these are a little important, so it's okay to slow down a little bit. Okay, we'll all chant.
Or you just
Hold on.
16?
We just read 17, I'm sorry. 17. Avinashitu tadvidhi yena sarvam idam tatam vinasham abhyasyasya na kaschit kartum arahati. You want to chant one more time? Avinashitu tadvidhi yena sarvam idam tatam vinasham abhyasyasya na kaschit kartum arahati. Ajit Prabhu, you want to read the translation, number 17?
Know that the soul by which the entire body is pervaded is indestructible. No one can destroy the imperishable soul.
Okay. So here he has given us information about that which pervades the entire body. consciousness. There is this energy that is animating this body. What is that? So that force we cannot see, but we know it is there. How? By symptoms. Because I see, you, I see you, and you see me, and so we know, yes, there is animation. And it's similar. Why? We can relate because you animate the same way. Just by simply visual symptom. And there's other symptoms also. And then if everything matches, our entire sensual apparatus matches, then we go, yes, that's human. That's a human experience. So, but how many times have our senses or our awareness gone to the fact that who is that who is occupying this physical form? That's what he's highlighting in this verse, is saying that which is pervading this entire body. So that's the first clue. And there's awareness of consciousness that pervades this entire, and that's the symptom entirely, that is the symptom of the soul. The soul is present. Actually, the soul plane is different. Soul plane has nothing to do with the physical plane. These are two separate energy levels. They have nothing in common. So there is a level of degradation that the awareness has to go through in order to come in touch with matter. Because he says, what is Prakriti? Bhumi, Rapa, Anala, Vayu, Kham, Mano, Buddhi, Revacha, Ahankar, Ityam, Me, Bhinna, Prakritir, Ashtadha. These 8 principles, Ashtadhatu, they make up Prakriti, Durga, Mother Durga. She is the external potency of the Lord. Maya Dakshina Prakriti Suyate Sachacharam. But apareyam itastvanam prakritim vidhime param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharate jagat. Then he makes a distinction. He says, apareyam itastvanam. From this prakriti, there is another higher prakriti. That verse is not here. But apareyam itastvanam prakritim vidhime param. That is higher. Param means that it's higher than this bracket of energy that I have just revealed to you. Bhumi, Rapo, Analo, earth, water, air, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, ego. This constitutes the external energy. But there is this higher energy that he's explaining. And what is that? Jiva Bhut. That is all of us. Jiva Bhut. Jiva Bhutam Mahabhayo Yayedam Dharate Jagat. And that pervades and occupies this entire plane and animates it. So that is what is pervading here. So this is a development of some higher vision, some finer, subtler vision of this is seeing in a higher sense. We say Jnananjana Shalakaya. We pray in the Mangalacharan. So what I will the higher potency give us, will Sri Guru give us. Through the agents will come this fine vision of not seeing just the outer form, but factually seeing Dehi, that who is that? And that will come. That is Dibbigyan. When we chant Dibbigyan Hriday Prakashito, from that will come this vision, where we be able to see that plane. Not entirely forget this plane, but understand that this is just minuscule, and it will be clear to us, not theoretically, but factually, that this is nothing. It is the plane of consciousness that we are really belonging to. Yeah? Pure, eternal existence. And we come to that. And we really exist. Then we are Sat. And then we progress on to Chit and then Anand. So, like that. So, and he's saying that what you're thinking, that you have this sword, you have this arrow, and you will be able to kill that element, that principle that parades this bag of bones and everything else, and you're mistaken. Because no one can destroy the imperishable soul. When he says no one can destroy it, that is absolute, like no one can destroy it. So when we become conscious of our existence as Sat, then what happens? Abhaya. We are fearless. That biggest fear, that Mahabhaya, that parades our mind, is the fear of not existing, which is death. And that goes away. Why? Because we are Sat, and we become conscious of that existence. And so Chit. So that eternal existence, when we are conscious, then Abhaya Śrīpada Padme, Sharanilam. Then we can understand at that point free will. Right now, free will is a limited concept. But then when we understand that in the fully blossomed stage, then yes, Abhaya Śrīpada Padme, Sharanilam. Then we can take proper Saranagati. Not that in this stage we should not begin, or we should not conceive of it. Of course we have to, with everything that we have, whatever capital that I have at this point, I will invest. That's the way of the businessman who wants to succeed. He's not gonna try and expend more than what he has. He will begin with what he has. That's the way. So, it is indestructible. Now, any point in time when we're fearful, we need to understand that indestructible nature of ours. It's not easy, because that misconception still outweighs, this feeble touch that we have. So when we grow, we're told like that. When we actually come to that stage, then we have no problem. Mahārāj Parikshit, for example. You know Mahārāj Parikshit. Mahārāj Parikshit was cursed, and he was given this, and he had everything in the world. He was of the ruling class, and he's given, you have 7 days, and after 7 days you shall perish, you shall die. Ordinarily, a person would be an ordinary person. Even today's any king would be like, seriously, like they'd be afraid. But how does he behave, or what does he say? He expresses his heart in front of all the Vaishnavas, the Pandits, and everyone who's the Brahmanas, he says, Tammopayatam pratyantu vipra Ganga cha devim dhrita chittamishe. He's at the banks of Mother Ganga. Dujopasrishta kuhakas takshakava dashatvalam. He says, why wait for 7 days? Dashatvalam. Without delay, that serpent that the son of the Brahman has cooked up, let him come and bite me right now. You're talking 7 days? Why wait for 7 days? But what is most important, Gayata Vishnu Gatha. You continue singing the glories of the Lord. That is what is central. This is his heart, who knows that death is inevitable. Dashatvalam, Gayata Vishnu Gatha. He says, why wait for 7 days? Let that thing come bite me right now. I'm ready to die. Oh, hey. Just gave you an example that came to me. That is fearlessness. That deathless. Na sato vidyate bhava, na bhava vidyate sata. Hare Krishna. So, okay. Any comments, questions, anything? Should we continue? Number 18.
What page is it? 26.
26. 18.
Antavanta ime deha nityasyokta sharirina anashino prameyasya tasmad yuddhasya bharata. Let's do it one more time. Antavanta ime deha nityasyokta sharirina anashino prameyasya tasmad yuddhasya bharata. Prabhu, would you like to read the translation?
18.
Yes.
The soul is said to be eternal, indestructible, and immeasurable. Only these physical bodies are subject to destruction. Therefore, fight, O Bharat.
So the soul is eternal, Sat, and then he gives indestructible and immeasurable. To measure and to destroy. These tendencies are typical of the mind. Before anything else, destruction and measurement come to our minds first and foremost. So notice, he is dealing with Śrī Arjuna's mind, and so in order to tell him positively what the soul is, what is he doing? He's telling of all the negatives. That's called neti. What it is not. You cannot kill. You cannot destroy it. You cannot measure it. All of these things, that's more prominent than saying what it is. Because usually if you ask me to explain a concept, I'll try to tell you what it is. But this is quite the opposite approach. And that's why Sāṅkhya, this is typical of Sāṅkhya-yoga. And that's what it's actually meant to do, is meant for the mind to stop trying to measure or destroy or to grab an entire conception and bring it in and go, this is what it is, and put it into a little box. Oh, that's Eastern thought. This is Western thought. That's what the mind does. Here, he's trying to That's not what it is. You can't measure it. So if you can't measure it, then how do you know? One dimension of the mind is stopped. Like, I can't measure it. Indestructible, I can't destroy it. Stop. Then what? Then, and then further. So that's how the approach is. Does that make sense? And he says only these physical bodies are subject to destruction. So if Arjuna's thinking, I'm going to kill my Bhishma. He only knows the body. He doesn't know who Bhishma is. The son of Ganga. He's a Vasu. He doesn't know. He just sees the outer form. He doesn't know internally who's the occupier. So that vision is being, he's being imparted that as grace. Because something which is beyond our mind, beyond our intellect, how can I claim any dominion to that? Or any proprietorship? Which means it has to be given. Only then I shall have it. So not like I shall achieve. Well, what will you achieve? Something that you don't know, you have no conception of. How is that possible? First I have to conceive of it. Then it is achievable by effort. So this is not like, this is beyond any ordinary material effort. This is only by grace, only by connection, only by that the descent of grace. That, we can climb a mountain, but beyond, if one says, now go further up, only for rope drops, then we can go up. So it's like that. So this is that external help. So number 19 we can chant. Ya enam vetti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam ubhauto na vijanito nayam hantina hanyate. Okay, one more time. Ya enam vetti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam ubhauto na vijanito nayam hantina hanyate. Okay. Mala Prabhu, would you like to read?
Oh yes, of course. Those who think the living being slays and those who think it is slain are ignorant of the true nature of the soul. For the soul neither slays nor is slain. Okay.
So the soul is so two things: is neither slays nor is slain, which means what you think that you're engaging in, the occupying principle, which is really you, is not implicated in that in any way, in terms of doing. Soul plane is entirely different. So he's saying you think you're going to engage in killing, but factually that's not the case, because the soul doesn't kill or is killed. What?
So
And go ahead.
I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
So if the soul, like you're saying, soul can't kill, soul cannot be killed, then how, so, because the Lord's explaining to Śrī Arjuna how to properly perceive this battle instead of sulking over like, oh, this person, this is my family, this is, you know. So how do we're not Śrī Arjuna, right? So we're not, I'm not. So how do, in that way, can we reconcile, like, yes, okay, he's saying the soul cannot kill, cannot be killed, but how do you actually factually reconcile that and understand that?
You mean in terms of action?
Yeah.
So there are many ways according to one's development and understanding of how one would reconcile, and I'm talking of those who are actually adherents of some conception. I'm not talking of just in general masses. So there can be there are various levels of understanding, but what if I were to answer? I would answer that till such time that one actually gets to the level of, you understand Tattvadarshi, where he says the difference between the two has been realized by the seers of the truth. So unless and until by grace one comes to that realization, we need to realize that we are still implicated in the physical plane. And although that is the ideal, the real situation, but at this point in time, I do need to follow certain rules and regulations that are being laid out by the scriptures, which is called dharma, kartabya. So that jurisdiction that has been given, I shall function in that. And from within that jurisdiction, I shall worship that higher level. Not try and pretend that I'm at the higher level. That is detrimental actually. So the way to go about that is this. So at my, let's say at my level of understanding, then how do I act? He gives that. Yad karoshi, yad ashnas, yad juhoshi, dadas, yad tapasyasi kaunte, tad kurushva madarpanam. If you want to be at that soul plane, then you need to understand that everything that you do, any endeavor that you engage yourself in, you should have the center, you should have Krishna in focus. And then then everything that you're doing will slowly come into proper measure. See, that doesn't mean by understanding this soul doesn't do anything, then you become inactive. No, we have to be active. Now, according to the level of realization, perception and understanding, for each individual it's a little different. But in general, in a broad way, it's given to us. Whatever so we have to eat. So what do? We partake, prasadam. So that's how we proceed. People like giving charity. Give charity for the center. So in that way, so we have to start from where we're at and not imagine some other, like just imagine, oh, there's this plane of existence, now I don't have to do anything. No. So we begin with the capital that we have, and that's also given. You want to be active in this world, you have to be, you should be. Krishna himself says, I have no reason to be here, yet I am engaged in activities. How do you explain that? But he's driving his devotee's chariot. Does he need to? He doesn't have anything to do in these three worlds. Nanavapatam avapatavyam vartaeva cha karmani. And still I am engaged in karma. Vartaeva cha karmani. He doesn't have any duties, any obligations, yet he is engaged. So he's, by his own example, he's saying. So it's very practical. So we are to exist on this plane. If we are, then slowly we need to start adjusting, and that is sadhana. What is sadhana? So we start following this, and then slowly we come into harmony. And not to ignore. So he's explaining at the same time, from the level that we're at till that plane. It's not like, oh, just give it up. Does that make sense?
Not to think that just because you know of or you've heard, that plane exists, like, okay, I'm there, that's fine, I don't need to do anything.
Well, there is a verse that's going to come which says, Āścharyavat pashyati kaschidenam, Āścharyavat vadati tathaiva chānya, Āścharyavat chainam anna shrunoti, Shrutva penam vedana chaiva kaschid. So he's, about the soul plane, he's explaining, giving us some insight into the various kinds of propensities that people have, the different, and by that propensities then you can have, okay, this group, this group, this group. So he's saying, Āścharya, that's wondrous. That soul plane, when one becomes conversant with it, eternality of their existence, true existence, it's wondrous. Āścharyavat paschati kaschidenam. Some people see it and experience it as wonderful. They have that higher vision. Āścharyavat vadati tathaiva chānya. From those, then those who have heard, they become like, I have faith in that. And they start relaying that same information that they have gotten, and Āścharyavat vadati, and they explain to others out of goodwill. They're recognized as bona fide. Āścharyavat vadati tathaiva chānya. So all those preachers who are following, but they may not have direct experience, but they are connected in this way that they have heard from their master or from agent. And if they're expressing it, bona fide. By Krishna, he's saying, Āścharyavat vadati tathaiva chānya. That doesn't mean you stop talking of the ideal, you stop preaching of the ideal. No! Āścharyavat vadati tathaiva chānya. And they're experiencing it as wonderful. In fact, they're greater than those, if you really see that. Because their heart knows that I haven't seen it, but they believe in their master so much, in their, their line of agents, that they're like, no, this is it. My faith entirely is invested in this, and this is how wonderful it is. They're bona fide by Krishna's word. And Āścharyavat chainam anna shrunoti. There is this third category which comes and listens, and they think it's wondrous. They think it's beautiful. They're also bona fide. Do you see how liberal he is? He's not saying only that first group that has actually had that is bona fide. No. That's how liberal his heart is. He makes everyone bona fide. No, you're bona fide. You're bona fide. By your connection. So connection is most important. And then he says, the only thing that he kind of not criticizes, but he wants them to understand is, those who have heard time and time again, who have they've been given so much of mercy, but they still turn a blind eye. They don't believe. He says, they're he doesn't like it. That's the fourth category. Shrutva penam vedana chaiva kaschit. Even though they have heard so much, the experience have told them, but they have no faith. That's the only group that he considers like, what are you doing? Huh? Just give you some insight into his vision. In his vision, from the absolute, from his side, from the supreme essence, he thinks, this soul is attracted because they have heard from him and they put their faith here. Beautiful, you're bona fide. That soul may not feel anything, but this is Krishna's absolute word. And so faith in our line, connection and service, this is what it does. It makes everything real. Not within our conception at this point maybe, not within our vision at this point maybe, but 100% from the other side. So the soul plane for everyone becomes real by investing that little faith. Yes, that exists. Swami Maharaj said that. Guru Maharaj said that. Govinda Maharaj said that. And so my faith is there. I may not have seen it. We're bona fide. So that's how, every preacher, every adherent, every sincere soul becomes bona fide. So to not be there, it doesn't take anything off in terms of like if one is thinking like, oh, I have less points than someone who has. No, it's not that. What we're going towards is the absolute, the infinite. Yeah? Does that make sense, Lavanya? That was a very nice question, but
No, thank you. That's
does that make sense?
Always gives us hope.
So at times I feel like I don't feel anything. So then where is with that faith, then when I look at this, then I go, no, from his side, it's all there. It's all there. He is my suhrid. He is my benefactor. He is my eternal well-wisher. The problem is from me that I've chosen to forget him. He hasn't. That's how liberal he is. Number 20. Do we have time?
Yeah, it's really one.
Number 20. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita na bhuya ajo nitya shashvato yam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. One more time. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita na bhuya ajo nitya shashvato yam purano na hannate hannamane sharire.
The soul is neither born nor dies. It has neither been nor will be created, because it is unborn and eternal. It is ever useful yet ancient. It is not destroyed when the body is destroyed.
Okay. So the soul is neither born nor again negatives. Neither born nor dies. Why? Because life and death is everything to us. It's a matter of life and death. He says, well, it's neither born nor dies. So now mine is again defeated. I can't conceive of what is this principle. I can't conceive of it. Why? Because it's not within your capacity. Unborn and eternal. We have no conception of what do you mean unborn? The mind cannot, it'll always grapple with like unborn, what? How is that? And eternal? Ever youthful, but I've seen myself, going from like, teenager to 20 to 30 and then 40 and then now 50. So if I can see it in myself, I can see it outside also. And then he's saying that soul is ever youthful. So again, that's like defeating the mind, like mind cannot fathom. Yet ancient. So it's old yet youthful. Just like Krishna. Govindam Adi Purusham. Govinda. Adi Purush. Adi means the most ancient of all. He is the Supreme Soul. It is not destroyed when the body is destroyed. So one can kill the body, but one cannot kill the soul.
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Why do we find like in some devotees, like after they have practiced spiritual life for so many years, they are still afraid of death? Like even though we read and we learn in class many times that we are not the body and we are spirit souls. Like that realization of not being afraid of death and that we're actually spiritual, where does that come from? Like, is like mercy and grace from Guru, or is like something we should realize in practice, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question, Didi, because it's a natural tendency to be afraid of death, to say that or to express it otherwise would be artificial, synthetic, and we don't want that. But what we're told and what actually transpires is through the agency, through the running current. It's like electricity that runs. So just having the wiring and the outer shell intact means nothing. The moment you have like the actual energy coming down, then that is self-revealing. It reveals. So by revelation, all of these things come to us. So when I say from misconception to conception, so what we understand as all in all, this life as all in all, only through that lens, death will be fearful to me. Does that make sense? Because I am investing everything that I have on this gross level, on the mundane level. But when I truly understand that actually this is not the real place to invest is a different plane altogether, and I factually invest my energy there, then divestiture or moving away from this plane, I will have no problem. I'm trying to explain this from just a transactional perspective. So if I'm investing everything here, that's because I believe there's this conviction in me that this is all in all. And it's no one's fault, it's just how much one has actually risen or progressed. So, if devotees do that, they're still bona fide. Why? Because compromise has not happened on the ideal. The ideal is still my Lord and His grace descending to me through the agents. If that is intact, everything is intact. We are not judged at all. But if I were to use that word just in contextually here, we are not judged by our ability. No. But that's karma. We are judged by our choice. That devotee who's afraid of death gave everything within their conception to the mission of Guru Gauranga. How could they go wrong? Just because they're afraid of death? From their side, they may still be not on the liberated entire soul plane, but from the perspective of the Absolute, you remember that story of Ajamil? He was thinking, he was super afraid. But from the Absolute side, they go, no, he chanted. Huh? So we've got to remember that. It's not like, well, you're still afraid, no, it's okay to be afraid.
So it can be told that is by grace or by mercy.
Absolutely. Without grace from above, without mercy, if we just try to be on the plane of justice, all of these things are just ungettable. They will sound wonderful. They will, how wonderful. Oh, but it'll not go beyond that. It'll be just some sort of noise. Likeable noise. But it won't act as a chemical, which it is supposed to. This is supposed to be a chemical. Just like a medicine, you ingest a medicine, you take a medicine, you administer your medicine and it acts. That's how it does. And it's all organic. So remember, it's not anything forced. Krishna is not giving any commandments ever. These are all, He's expressing, it's my opinion. This is this. This is this. See how through just this organic way one is attracted to Him by hearing, and slowly that's how we came. We heard Krishna Katha, we heard something from someone who heard from Gurudev or from Gurudev, and then we all get attracted. But we're in one of those three categories that Krishna just said. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschideno, ascharyavat tatevachan, ascharyavat chainavanna shrunoti. Now those who have heard, He considers them as bona fide. If they're afraid of death, that's fine. They will develop. Because remember, they're indestructible. But they will develop. That is not something that is within the power of some living entity, conditioned soul to go, I'm not afraid of death. That's going to be a madman. So we are to be completely organic and truthful to ourselves. Yeah, it's still I'm afraid of it. And if one is not, one is not. Which is not kind of ordinary, but anyway. But that's not taking any points off any devotee. Does that make sense, Didi?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, because we're supposed to present ourselves as we are, as I am. Not pretend someone to be someone and I'm not afraid, only then no. I would present myself as the most imperfect, as who I am. My mind is polluted and senses are all running here and there. Like that. Banafi's happy. Okay. I think we should pause here. This is what did we do?
We did till 20.
21.
20, I think. Or I think. We did not did that was so we
Okay.
did till 20.
20. So we've done till 20. So from next Saturday, because every Saturday, so next Saturday we'll begin from verse 21. All right. Well. जय सपरिकर श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गंधर्विका गिरिधारी जी की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद शिला भक्ति सुंदर गोविंद देव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद शिला भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर देव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद विश्ववरेण्य शिला एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। जय श्री चैतन्य सारस्वत मठ आचार्य वृंद की जय। भक्त वृंद की जय। सेवा वृंद की जय। All the assembled vaishnavas, vaishnavis ki jai. All the devotees, visible, invisible, Facebook, otherwise, YouTube, sab ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo.
Jairam Prabhu.
Jai.
Ājñā-Ṭahal family ki jai. And bring the Devi cooking and family
Ki jai.
So pretty soon we're gonna have Bhagavad Arati
Jai.
and non-Arati for everybody. Brother, do you know if it is confirmed that Ashram Mahārāj is going to give a question night as well?
It's not confirmed.